We called it Cave 1A. It was like where we got our education. I met Yvonne down in Mexico, and we did some adventures down there together. So when I left Mexico, I didn't know that I'd find her again in Berkeley. And I remember you said, I want you to meet some people. Just so happens we're going to Pyramid Lake this weekend if you want to come along. And so I said, sure. And we headed north, all packed in this Volkswagen bus. We got up there and that dust started whipping up, and we started looking for shelter. And sure enough, there's this little cave. I remember that there was about 10 of us. The back of the cave, there was this elevated thing that had a kind of a wall around it, and it was obvious that was the fire pit. So of course, after the sun went down, everything died down as far as the wind and everything. Daryl had this paper sack, and he started passing this around, and it was that medicine. So we used this medicine, and pretty soon started working on us. I remember that we were totally silent. We had nothing to say to each other because there was another voice that was talking to all of us at once. I wanted to know where that was coming from. I knew that everybody was listening. I felt that we were all listening to the same voice. And sure enough, right at the mouth of the cave, there appeared this spirit being. It looked like an old man. He had long white hair. And he was telling us all this stuff about ourselves, why we were there and what that cave was about. And we just listened and listened and listened, and this went on for a long time. It was real dark outside. Then I guess the moon came up. It got light outside, and we all of a sudden heard these voices. It sounded like singing. And we were all curious, and so we crawled out of the cave. The minute we started crawling out, the image of that spirit disappeared. We walked out and we stood up, and what I saw and what we all agreed we saw afterwards was this hundreds and hundreds of spirit beings standing in the valley and on those spires across the valley in white buckskins, and they were all facing us, and they were singing this most beautiful song. And it went on for a long time, and it was obvious that they were all focused on us. And then, just like that, it all ended, and they disappeared, and we came back in the cave. And the old man started talking again, the spirit, and kept going, kept going. And then finally, morning came, and we went out to see the sunrise, and there was a big eagle out there soaring and crying for us, and we just stood there in awe of all this experience we had just had.